Do you guys
Yeah.
feel like, as you've taken this turn over the last couple of years, there's the when you're defending and when you're really locked in defending, there's just a level of joy that feels maybe even different than your other sort of basketball experiences?
Yeah, 100%. It's like to get that stop is like I honestly like I used to hate playing defense. Like now it's like I embrace it. I like playing defense. I like to make the guy in front of me uncomfortable. I like to I want him to feel my presence. I want him to know like I'm here. So like we all have that same edge and so forth. So and I think that came from Rudy. Like he talks about defense all the time, and that's kind of why he is defensive player of the year. So he kind of embraces that as well, and he kind of shifts that down to us. And we like I said, I used to hate playing defense, but now it's just like really like something that I know you need to win. Like you need defense. That's our identity. So it's exciting, and you get a rush from getting that stop, or that actually that clip where him and Jaden was in that trap, and that like stuff like that. Just you get a morale from.
Uh, I was doing Richard Jefferson and Channing Frye's podcast yesterday, and Channing described Nikhil and Jaden as Doberman pinchers. how would how would you describe Jaden and Nikhil on the defensive end?
The dogs like those are two guys like especially for Nikhil, like Jaden obviously he's like one of the best defenders in the league, but like Nikhil to like that's kind of how he approached the game with a defensive mindset. Like I think for him, that's what that kind of carved out his role. To be able to stop that all star guy on the other level, or on the other side, who's at another level. And I think he embraces that as well. I would say like once. If you have to deal with those two guys, I mean, I feel like you're in trouble. Like that's the feeling that we get. So now we're following suit. You know what I'm saying? So it's just like a domino effect.
Is there something with you? It's always interesting with guys who, obviously you're six man of the year, so you're the ultimate example of this. But the prep for coming off the bench, and you've had to start some games and things like that because of injuries. When your approach when you're coming into the game for the first time, is that something that you just have had to learn over time? When you're even talking about your journey from being where you were in high school and college to going undrafted to where you are now?
Yeah. For me, like I kind of like so I take it. I'm trying to see how the game. I like it because I get to see how the game's going. I get to see. There's like a joke that I say with some of the bench guys that it's kind of like we gotta, if the lead's up, we gotta kind of push the lead. If we're down, we kind of gotta get the lead back. So we kind of have to have that same mentality regardless. But I get a chance to see how the game's going. I get to see how the refs calling the game. I just get a feel, and I'm able to impact the game any way, shape, or form, whether it's scoring, rebounding, diving on the floor, loose ball, steals, like whatever the case may be. So I get a chance to analyze the game from that aspect.
Going into the fourth quarter of game one, what was your mindset? I think you had two going into the fourth and had 14 in the fourth.
Yeah. So I kind of explained to them, or even to Jaden, that's my man's for real. So I was explaining to him like I didn't feel like my impact was felt in the Suns game. So and then the first half of the Denver game. So like I just felt like I had to have some type of presence